ouchie, ouch.
Can you tell her it's going to hurt a little? Tell the baby. Hold very,
Hold
hold very still. Tell mom that this is numbing. It's pain to stop pain.
Good. Good job.
Now he's gotta make the cut, so you gotta say.
There it is. Yeah, that's all.
We have some toilet paper, but it's not sterile. What happened, Ron? It's okay.
Not exactly a typical visit to an urgent care in the U.S., right? Well, this is Haiti. And if you don't know Haiti, things are just different here.
In Haiti, there is no government who's going to provide you with the best schooling, the best health care there is. There is no 911. Okay, you have an issue, you got to resolve it on your own. So at a very, very early age, you have to learn to actually survive, and your parents make sure that they teach you that as you grow up. In 1971, my father decided to take a chance with me. We're going to sell the few pieces of lands that we have, and we're going to send you abroad. But you have to promise us one thing. If you go and you make it, remember the others.
Now, many of us have various opinions on this small Caribbean island nation, just over 800 miles off the coast of the U.S. Some of the first words which may come to mind when people hear Haiti might be earthquakes, hurricanes, and dictators, and not necessarily in that order. Others might say third world, poverty, corrupt. My name is Scott Sniffen, and I'm a Connecticut filmmaker, and there is no question Haiti has its challenges. But I have had the opportunity to travel to Haiti with a team of medical volunteers, mostly from Connecticut and the Boston area. These individuals take time out of their lives and try to make life just a little better for some of the people in Haiti. So how did this all come about? First, it started with this guy. Well, actually, this guy. Well, in a way, it really started with this guy, but we'll hear from him later. Back to Ralph Miro. Ralph has worked in healthcare all his life, and we met years ago working together in Connecticut. Ralph wanted to go to Haiti as part of an assignment for his master's degree. Ginks recalled the words of his father many years ago, and the plan was hatched.
I reached out to Ginks when I thought about going out to Haiti and asked him if he knew how we could possibly gain entrance to the country.
Of course, I'm from Haiti, but I left Haiti for so long, I have no idea. But I said, however, there's something else we can do. Where I'm from, my parents can actually help me, and I know people that can help me. If we can gather enough medication and people to go, we can actually help the people over there.
Day by day, I reached out to healthcare professionals who are my friends and colleagues and asked them, would you consider going to Haiti on a medical mission? And I got almost universal yeses every time I approached someone. So I think I had a team gathered probably within a month's time.
I was excited. I hadn't been to Haiti. I had always wanted to do medical missions. I always wanted to explore that part of my life that I had never gotten to do before. I was excited and anxious, obviously, because we were getting a lot of reports about Haiti being a dangerous place, a lot of disease, a lot of risk in going there at the time.
From 8 years old until I was 17 years old, I hadn't gone back to Haiti. So growing up in the States, that's pretty much what I knew other than contact with my family via phone or stories my parents would tell us or photos.
The idea of going to Haiti was just exciting to me because it was going to a different place, and the way that countries like Haiti are portrayed in the media, by journalists, and by our own politicians. Speaking of Haiti, we get a very skewed perception of what the country actually is.
A quick geography lesson here. Haiti shares the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic, and Haiti sits just 120 miles from Jamaica. The capital is Port-au-Prince, where the main airport is located. Upon arrival in Haiti, and like so many other developing nations, you are met with a large group of people eager to help you in any way they can. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but as you'll see, Haitians are survivors and are not afraid of work and will take on any task to make ends meet, or in some cases, feed themselves for that day. Some of you may know Haiti from this point of view. It's Labadie, located at the north end of the island, where cruise ships drop tourists to visit and shop. It's a very controlled area and arguably does not offer the most honest, culturally rich Haitian experience. But to be fair, parts of Haiti are quite beautiful, with lush forests and sandy beaches. However, these images fail to illustrate the day-to-day struggles of this country and its people.
Port-au-Prince is extremely overpopulated. I would say this is a place that was made for 200, perhaps 500,000 people. You have close to 2-3 million people living there. So you can imagine, how messy it is.
The roads, the infrastructure is still awful, very difficult to traverse any area of Haiti in a vehicle or to walk.
Haiti, I always call it the land of great contrast. The more you think things have changed, the more they remain the same. So when you go over there, you say, can I navigate? And you realize that it's pretty much the same thing, except you have more people pile up in a smaller place.
This was only a few years after the earthquake, and many international groups were still deeply entrenched in relief efforts. And our last trip was in 2019, and little had changed. Many asked why. Well, Haiti has a long history of corruption and political turmoil, and forces both outside and inside this country, including a rich Haitian elite, continue to create hardship for the people of Haiti. With barely a functioning economy and other factors, including the assassination of its president in 2021, Haiti is still trying to find its way. So with only 40% of Haiti's population with access to basic health care, our focus was going to be rural, a 3.5-hour drive up into the mountains where people are truly living on the edge.
Out in the countryside, there's almost no health care whatsoever. So we wanted to really go out far from the confines of the city and provide health care to those who have none.
So imagine driving through these bumpy roads when you see poverty all over the side of the roads, and there's dirt, filth, cacophony of colors and noise and things like that. And then you get to an area that's kind of open and there's not much going on, but you see a few houses and shacks and things like that. And then all of a sudden you see kind of a clearing, and there's these rice paddies and these mountains in the background, and it looks so majestic.
We are now 3.5 to 4 hours outside of Port-au-Prince, depending on road conditions and traffic, but mostly road conditions.
I didn't know what to expect, but I do know one thing, that my parents, who actually love me dearly, they were there waiting. They felt that it was like one of the greatest things that I could have done if I can bring my friends to help my people.
As you recall, I said it started with this guy, Ginks's dad. And Mom, too, can't leave her out. But what a treat to hear from this proud father speak about his son upon returning after so many years.
Ça me pensait de monsieur, comme petit moi. Moi, monsieur, non ligne droite, il peut aller. Il non ligne, il peut aller. Parce que selon action avec selon ça la fait, il montrait qu'elle avec tout le monde. Ni ça qui est riche, ni ça qui est pauvre, ni ça qui n'est pas moi-même, il embrasse tout. Donc, au nom du grand Dieu Jéhovah, semble que nous ne connaissons pas. Qui ça grand Dieu a fait? Mais c'est lui-même, moi, non ligne droite, la aller. Moi, non ligne droite li pou ale.
This is such a big day. And I remember he said to me, you know something? I am the president today. I said, why you said that? He said, not even the president ever do anything like this. So I am the president today because I'm your father. You bring all of these people to come over.
Petite Rivière is a small town nestled right next to the Artibonite River. With a mix of dirt roads and cobblestone, most of the town is lined with homes and small businesses. Like the house we stayed in, some are made up of concrete and stucco, while others around town range from small wooden structures to tiny shacks with metal roofs. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it, but people seem generally pleasant, with many busy on their way somewhere, either on foot or scooter. The town is quaint in its own way, but always with a constant sound of generators running. Power is intermittent, and without warning, just shuts off for days at a time.
It actually is, from my mind, quite safe, very different than the urban city. You're really going out into the community and becoming a part of the community, and we're living within the community.
We arrived, got settled in the house, got our bed set up. You have to put up mosquito netting to avoid malaria. We have to set up a water filtration system, which is just a portable filter, because the water comes out of the floor, out of a well. So we have to make sure that water is going to be as pure as it possibly can be. And we have a briefing prior to going to bed, and we talk about how the day is going to go, where we're going to head the next day, bunk in for the night, maybe get 4 or 5 hours sleep. We're up at the crack of dawn.
Contrary to popular belief, the roosters here start their squawking well before dawn. As we discovered, most of the town's people are up early and on their way to work, school, or the market. This is our basic mode of transportation. They are called tap-taps. It's kind of a town bus. We chartered one so we could get around town and to the clinics. The main objective for the week is to provide simple medical care to the area residents. We'll be highlighting activities among all the clinics the group has set up over the week.
Was he born with that?
We'll arrive at the towns, and it's astounding. There'll be 100, 200, 250 people waiting for us. We're just going to set up a makeshift clinic, but to them, it's as though we're setting up a hospital.
Chairs, tables under a tree. That is our clinic.
Most people don't have transportation, so they have to walk here.
People would stand in line in the hot sun in their good clothing. Everyone was really organized and polite, and just couldn't wait to speak with the doctors and explain to them what was going on.
How many people do you think here really have seen a doctor in their lives?
I would say half of these people haven't seen a doctor in their lives. Last time we came, we saw about 500 people in this line, and almost 80%, that was the very first time they were seeing a doctor. Today is a great day for them. You see people well-dressed, putting their Sunday best. Some people may not have it. They will come, and that's pretty much, they feel they're gonna meet others that coming over to help us. It's a great day, let's show it off. And show it off may not mean that much to us, but it means a lot to them.
She's gonna put Lotrimin cream. It's a cream.
Okay, can you tell him he does have high blood pressure and I'm going to give him some medicine?
Yeah. All right, any trouble breathing at all right now?
He can't wash it off for 2 days.
And it looks like it went to the chest a little bit. But usually when you see this, so it's with the wrist drop, it's as if he had a nerve injury to his axilla. So tell Mom that, it's not going to spread to other parts of his body, right? So he's safe from that. It's not cancer, but, and I think she understands this, he's not going to get the use of his arm back.
Well, this is an 11-year-old boy that got triaged over to me because he has a large amount of swelling in his jaw. He's actually been there for 8 years, since he was 3. Turns out he became blind when he was a year or 2. Otherwise, he's been healthy, he's eating well and growing. And this thing has been growing in size. And they recently saw a specialist at some hospital called Conge, closer to Port-au-Prince. I don't know. They took a biopsy of it, which is great. She doesn't know the results. She hasn't heard from them. They told her, the mom, that they'll call her when they're ready to operate on it. So that's good. They're sort of plugged in, but it's been 4 months now, and I'm very concerned about this thing. It's not right. It's growing in size. Whether it's malignant or not, it's going to take his life at some point. And they don't have any money to get to Port-au-Prince 3 hours away to get to a children's hospital to figure it out. And my heart goes out to him. I mean, she spent a lot of money to try to get him help, and they don't have answers yet. And I want to get this child help. That's what I'm thinking now. But man, talk about a hopeless feeling.
The woman has infections of both breasts. It looks like it's oozing, and it has to be lanced, and it has to be cleaned out. So, you know, we have the minimal amount of equipment to do that, but we're going to put together some needles, some lidocaine to numb the area. Just try to get the infection as cleared out as we can, then follow that up with antibiotics. So, you know, here we are in this clinic. It's filthy, and we're trying to cobble together some equipment to do this.
Well, she's got a sugar of 541. She's got bilateral breast abscesses. Tell her also she's going to get some numbing medicine, and then she's going to get the abscesses opened up and drained, okay?
All right, Steve, here we go.
Yeah.
So sorry, so sorry.
Go deglove and grab some tape.
Gotcha.
I'll just hold it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it worked out very well. She had infections that were severe and had been there for a long time. It was very painful for her. We were able to numb it, but you know, you saw the conditions. They were very tough.
Trooper,
she's a trooper. She's tough.
Tough and resilient, and yet seemingly in good spirits. How can people be so pleasant in the face of such day-to-day struggles?
Growing up in Haiti, when I left, I was like 22, 23 years old. There is a certain stoic aspect. People take everything with pride. I believe if any advanced country were to be in the same situation as Haiti and see what's going on, everybody would be in Prozac because we'd be depressed. But these people are not. Why?
I believe the Haitian people get a sense of resilience from their sense of pride, survival instincts, their history. I mean, this was one of the first free black countries in the Western Hemisphere, actually the first. So I think that's a sense of pride.
That's right, first black country to win its freedom. But that war-torn and bloodied freedom would come at a huge expense, a cost many believe has contributed to this nation's storied challenges. Why is it with so many other Caribbean island nations in far better economic condition, Haiti has struggled?
Haiti not only fought two superpowers, France and Spain, and won. Haiti also fought England as well too, because England wanted a piece of the pie. And so in the very beginning, that was the struggle between these three superpowers trying to get a piece of what was called the Pearl of the Antilles, which is Haiti.
When the country became independent, no country in the world would actually recognize Haiti as an independent nation because it was thought that blacks could not rule themselves. To have a black republic was something that would have been unheard of.
So after Haiti gained its independence in 1804, many of the superpowers, the United States and all the countries in Europe, decided that they would not deal with Haiti on any meaningful level. It was a global embargo.
There was also an arrangement with France that Haiti was to pay $550,000 in gold, not just in money or paper money, but in actual gold, which Haiti paid for nearly 100 years. And it had to pay all of it to France.
Translated now, it would be billions of dollars. You had no trade coming in and out of the country for over a century. But it wasn't until 1863-64 when President Abe Lincoln recognized Haiti as a nation, that Haiti now, the embargo was lifted and other countries started somewhat to trade with Haiti. And so now you have almost a century of this country being crippled by other countries where there's no trade, there's nothing going on, import, exports, nothing. And essentially you have a system of people that are ex-slaves that are also not being educated. There was no public school system. There was nothing for at least a good 40 years. So Haiti's greatest sin was asking for its freedom.
I guess we'll never know if Haiti's tumultuous beginnings had led to a history of unrest, corruption, and poverty. True, the dictators and political unrest that has plagued this country for years has certainly contributed to much of Haiti's issues of today. We can only speculate how Haiti would look today if their price for freedom wasn't so high.
Unfortunately, Haitian history is marred often by disaster or civil and political turmoil, but the people themselves are incredibly patient and incredibly resilient. You will not find more resilient people, I believe, on the planet.
One of the things I love about Haiti is, especially the people, is that they're industrious and they're ingenious in some ways.
Indeed, that Haitian work ethic was very evident as we toured the small town. Remember, jobs are scarce here, especially in the rural areas. There are no factories or any real large businesses of any kind. So as we walked through town, we found almost everyone had their own little business or service. These gentlemen run a repair shop of sorts. This man is a steel fabricator and welder. And all along the town streets, you'll find someone trying to sell something. This woman sold coffee. It was instant, but it worked for us. Our interpreter is Dominique, and when he's not working with groups like ours, he's scraping out a living any way he can. So you did all this? This was all taught to you, huh?
Yeah.
So you make a chair? Is there a chair here?
Yeah. Something around here and fix it. 10,000 goods.
10,000 goods for one chair?
No, dining room.
Oh, okay. And using the currency exchange from the Haitian goud to the US dollar, that's about $100 for a complete dining room set. Later, he was happy to bring us to a small apartment he rents. It was maybe 10 by 10 with a dirt floor. There were family photos, some furniture. He told us the rent was $60 for 6 months. This is rice drying in the midday sun. And if there is a local industry in the area, it's rice, mostly grown by locals on their own land. But with all the so-called help from outside the country, including the US, the last thing you want to send to Haiti is rice.
Even in the 90s, it was like, oh, Haitians are starving, so they must need this rice. And it just destroyed the agricultural economy. So Haitian rice farmers from the rural areas cannot sell their rice to the buyers from the urban areas because they're getting their rice for much cheaper.
So now you have a culture, a people, a country that was known for exporting sugarcane and agricultural products, rice, coffee, cocoa, now actually being the greatest consumers, bringing that stuff in from other countries.
We used to be exporting food in Oslo's peripheric islands we have here, like Bahamas, those French Martinique and so on. We used to produce enough to be sold outside. We used to be, after Cuba, the second producer of rice, of sugar here. Now we are importing sugar here.
Food is very important to any country, and if you can't eat, you have problem. And if you cannot make your own food, you got even a bigger problem.
Nothing is getting exported. Everything is getting imported. And that just keeps, the markets in this, low, yet submissive and just static.
One thing is for sure, Haitians aren't waiting around for someone to give them a job because, for the most part, like I said, there aren't any. But an area which illustrates the spirit of entrepreneurship and survival is the town market. This is a makeshift mall of sorts, and almost anything is for sale. Covered with tarps and tin roofs, there are many selling fruits, fish, poultry, goat, and in this case, a goat head, leaves, seeds, even charcoal. Sorry for the quick nature of our camera work here. We had to move fast. The heat and the smell was getting the best of us. Away from town, we visited small villages with no running water, electricity, or any real services at all. This young boy was happy to show us a natural well in the ground. This man hollows out calabash shells and sells them for use as bowls. People here are living on the edge, extreme poverty. The villagers heard that we were with the medical group and directed us to an elderly man living in a stone hut. The man was gravely ill, and our group was miles away and would not get here. Medical groups from all over the world cycle through Haiti throughout the year. We could only hope help would arrive soon. It was gut-wrenching to leave him there, and I wondered how many in Haiti sit dying or sick in their homes with little hope. It was very frustrating. As we made our way back to town, we came upon large rice paddies. As we talked about, Haiti really is, or was, a farming nation. These gentlemen were showing us the challenges of just irrigating their fields.
This riverway, this canal, is really the lifeline of this whole plain area here. And as you can see, it's really bottled up, it doesn't flow. And what they do is they clean this by hand with machetes and hoes. But if they had some sort of equipment or some system that would maintain this on a regular basis, it would exponentially allow them to grow a lot more rice and just feed the people and be a better use for them.
Across the street, I saw this man, Edward, working the fields by himself, all by hand. His crop is many acres and is mainly rice, but grows anything he can sell.
Bon, je travaille là-dedans, c'est je fais je prends un petit cob pour manger à même. Je prends un cob pour manger à, puis depuis je bats dire puis je mesure le bail moun.
On all of our trips, one consistent observance was that even in the most challenging conditions, many of the children are seen walking to school dressed in uniform. So I took this time to ask Edward, was education important to him?
Oh, sous pas l'école pas besoin faire yo. Sous pas mettre tout monde dans l'école pas besoin faire tout monde là. Parce que parents de mettre l'école moi.
Even the poorest people in the country send their children to school, and they want to make sure that the children's uniforms are cleaned, impeccable.
Most people don't have the opportunity to buy a house, don't have an opportunity to buy a car, but they can provide opportunities for education to their children. So they will scrape and scrap as much money as they can to provide a good education for their children in the hopes that they can have a better life than they did.
I then asked him if the government should be more involved in helping the Haitian people.
Haïti a été capable de changer, mais nous faisons un monde qui t'a pour un gouvernement qui t'a tant que nous-mêmes commencer grand monde, je vais commencer blanche. Femme d'Aragon aide.
Finally, I asked Edward how he feels about outsiders coming to Haiti, and should they be fearful?
Non, ça va fait. Ça va fait. Parce que son homme, ils sont aide ou vin ba, sont aide ou vin ba, nous on prend, et puis c'est frère et frère, et c'est accolade.
No, he's being cool.
Accolade. Okay.
So between him and her.
Edward is a proud, hardworking man. He soldiers on, trying to provide for his family. I will never forget our roadside conversation. Now back in town, there is a small hospital, really more of a clinic. There might be 2 doctors and a couple of nurses on staff, and people wait up to 2 days just to see anyone.
For that area, you have one clinic for, I don't know, close to over 200,000 people. Because, there's only one clinic for the whole area. And when you come in, you go to the hospital, you may have to stay 2-3 days before you are seen. Okay, young children, little babies dying right there in the hospital ground because you have two doctors, okay, a couple nurses.
The people were so patient, waiting in cramped, hot, and humid conditions that most of us would find unbearable. This is the day I texted my wife back in Connecticut. The world is broken. This day, our team assisted with the care of an almost lifeless infant.
She's been sitting here since 5 o'clock in the morning. It's only now we intervene. So that gives you an idea about that.
5 a.m. So this is a mark of dehydration. This kid is absolutely 100% dehydrated.
The team has decided that the baby is critical and needs to be transported to the Albert Schweitzer Hospital 45 minutes away. But this is Haiti. There is no 911. There is no ambulance where we are. The team hires a driver and will take the infant to the hospital.
Go in, go. You're gonna bend down.
Make the boy sit in the back.
You're gonna bend down and you're gonna sit in the seat.
Yeah, close it.
Watch your back, bro.
We wish we could have called an ambulance, but there was no ambulance available. So we put the baby in the back of a car and resuscitated the baby in the back of the vehicle on the seat. Just like an ambulance, but beeping the horn instead of blowing the siren, and weaving through traffic as we would back in the States.
The following day, we were notified that the baby did survive, and the mother was able to take him home a few days later. One of our last clinics took us to one of the most rural areas yet. Traveling over dirt roads and streams, we were brought to a small village at the base of a mountain.
The further you go into the countryside, the actually worse it gets. Because some of these people don't have access to anything at all. There is no physician, there are nurses, and there are no pharmacists. There's really nothing for them.
In general, it's an area that has incredible poverty, doesn't really have real medical infrastructure in that area.
So if your wife is pregnant, you're gonna have to really learn how to deliver the baby.
The citizens from Cabo are actually walking down the mountain to us. Some are being trucked down by Land Rovers, but a lot of them are walking. And these are people who have never seen a doctor or a nurse or had health care before.
Pour nous capables de faire manger de l'eau là de l'eau vini, de l'eau boiter toute matière descendre dans la ville, nous ne pouvons pas récolter, nous ne pouvons pas récolter rien.
This woman, the end result was she probably has uterine cancer. She said that they did a scan, quote unquote, and thought there might be something wrong with her uterus, some fibrosis or something. Well, on exam, there's a big mass in there. It doesn't appear benign to me for her to be that severely starved and emaciated, so it's almost certainly malignant. We were able to explain to the patient and to the two daughters that this is in fact bad. It's probably cancer. It's going to get the best of her. What we're going to do is help her feel better. We gave her some pills, Benadryl for sleeping, some Tylenol for her pains, gave her some gummy bear vitamins. She got a power bar from me and a granola bar from Ginks to help a little bit of nutrition, but our message to them was to get her to drink as much as possible, keep her comfortable, and that's what you have. And they actually appeared to be very, very grateful, said thank you and yes a lot, and smiled, that they finally got the truth. That was a sense I got from them. They finally got the truth that something was not good. So. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye-bye. 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 Bon chance. Okay. Can't really help her live, but sorry. In some way, make her last days a bit more palatable, I guess.
As we toured the village, we were witness to the worst poverty we encountered on the trip. This man cares for his grandchildren by bartering leaves at the roadside market. This man with his family have been trying to finish this very modest home for 3 years. He tells us he earns 3 to 4 Haitian goud a year. That's less than 40 cents.
When you leave a country like Haiti and the sights that you saw stay with you, and the patients that we treated and the smiling faces, stay with you, but then you wonder about the other 364 days of the year when folks aren't there that are medical professionals.
I'm going to use that as my marker. So we're just going to move over.
In the years since following this group, Gerard has donated his time and architectural skills to a more sustainable effort close to Port-au-Prince.
Sustainable healthcare for Haiti started about 9 years ago. And what we learned very quickly was that our mission really wasn't to build a building. Our mission was to actually teach children that they had a right to healthcare, to give them the tools to actually access that healthcare, and to teach them how to actually take care of themselves, their communities, and their friends.
So we actually spent a lot of time thinking about what would be the best location for the building, and putting it up at the crest of the hill where one can see it from the road was extremely important to identify this is here for the community, this is here as a new beginning for the orphanage to provide care and the best care possible.
This gave us the opportunity to really control the flow of patients, to keep the patients comfortable, to give them some privacy when we took care of them, which we never had before.
One of the great points about this clinic is that we wanted to make sure we were working collaboratively with the orphanage, with the local caregivers, and with local labor.
I came in today and I told one of my colleagues, who's also a Haitian, and I told him what I was going to do. He said, hey, he'll take half a day off and he'll come and help. Dr. Das, he came and help. And Sandra's Haitian, Reginald's Haitian. Yes, it's we have plenty of Haitians also that wants to help.
To kind of come in and swoop down and build something and then leave is not really a way that helps either A, support the economic structure here, and then B, the opportunities for education or skill building, which I thought we believe was extremely important in this project.
The best way to do it, like if you train the people and then you come with the project and then you create jobs for them. And then again, like yes, we will need like to have a supervisor or like someone who got the expertise from America or wherever to lead the team. But the Haitians will be happy to work, to have the training and then work and get paid and feed their family.
Get paid and feed their families. Not much to ask, right? Stefan reminded me of a young Ginks. Which brings us back to the mountains and the place where this whole story began.
On the last day, we went to another dilapidated concrete building with a tin roof. And that building was actually Ginks' school when he was a child. So we worked out of his old elementary school. At the conclusion of the mission that day, we walked about 200-300 yards down the road, and I wasn't sure where we were headed. And we went down a dirt road into a field. I think it was a cane field, and there was a small hut in the middle of this field, the middle of nowhere. And I didn't realize until Ginks told us that this was the home that he was raised in as a child.
This is it. This is exactly, and nothing have changed, except that now we no longer live here, that somebody else is living in it. But it's the same thing, the same little house. That's exactly where I was born, and this is where I grew up, and until the age of 14. Should I say God bless America? And there's a place in the world there are people with willingness and the know-how to actually do something for themselves, don't just asking for something. I think that's exactly what these people in Petite Rivière and this area is asking for. They're not asking for a handout. They're pretty much asking, can you show me how to do it? And once I do it, I'll be okay. And you've been out today, pretty much everybody telling you, if I can get a pump to pump the water from the canal, I can actually irrigate my land, and I can actually plant more rice, and I can have rice for my family. So therefore, everybody will be nourished, and that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, that was an astounding, and I have to use the word astounding moment for all of us, because we all stood, and I think he said, sorry.
It's Phil. Phil, I'm blessed. Like, I'm blessed. That's all I can say. And I'm very happy that I can come back and help the others. I could have been any of the kids you see today. I could have been any of the guys that you saw today. I can have been any of them, right? But because of this man, actually, I must give tribute to him. I wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for him. And when he first started, this is all we had. That's all we had.
It was a very touching day. It was a big day for me. It was a really, really a great day for my father and my parents and everybody who know me. I think my father was even prouder the fact that I cannot believe my son brought all of these people over to help.
That moment, for me, galvanized everything that we had done together, from caring for the poor to reuniting Ginks with his family and his country, and then ending where he began. It doesn't get more powerful than that.
I wouldn't be able to really be sitting here today and doing this interview with you if my father didn't take the chance. I just happened to be one of the lucky one and the privileged one, and he took a gamble, and he gambled on me. But I really believe also from the field, there are others that could have done exactly the same thing that I did if they had the chance.
Sadly, Ginks's dad, the man who gambled on his son, passed away in 2019. We will miss him. Certainly, traveling to Haiti with Ginks, Ralph, and the team over the years changes you. And it's ironic this group are at their best when working in some of the most challenging conditions. They are special people, the embodiment of human kindness.
Can you have more swings in emotion in a single day or in a single week? Because it was beautiful and horrible all at the same time.
To actually give up some time and come here and form a connectedness and a relationship and realize that, we're all connected is awe-inspiring.
When you put hands on someone and you get to intervene in that one little tiny shred of their life, it could be huge or not.
Every trip I've done, there's at least 4 or 5 people who are really, literally critically ill, and we made an intervention that absolutely saved their lives.
You go to give someone some medicine, you hand them a bag, it's the little things like putting their hand on their shoulder and just look at them in the eye contact and try to show them love in some way.
It's just amazing looking in their eyes and seeing their beauty.
In a way, it's hard to know that they're not going to get the care that they need, but you're at least helping them in a way to give them what we have to make their symptoms manageable for the time.
People should travel to places where they are hesitant to. They should travel to places that are completely out of their comfort zone, because that will give them the ability to see the best in people. It will really give them an ability to see what they haven't seen before in just other people and other people's faces and interactions. It'll give a completely new appreciation to what it means to be a human, I think.
Every time I go, I think I'm going to change the world, but realize that I can't. All I can do is, as much time as I can spend there, give the best that I can to the people that I meet.
So what does the future hold for Haiti? When I talk to people about this country back home and show them films and pictures, I say Haiti is a country which has been let down by the developed nations of the world and its own government.
If we can help people stay here and thrive and have this economy thrive, then they become good partners and global partners. And then we don't have refugees, and then we don't have asylum seekers.
They want that Haitian dream, American dream. They want to educate their child, and they want their children to have a better life in order to raise up their country, raise up their household, raise up their communities.
And I don't think people in Haiti want anyone to feel sorry for them. I mean, these are very proud people.
It would be great to have one of these kids in 20 years just replace me. One of them who becomes a doctor, who becomes an engineer, who becomes an architect, a lawyer, you know? That would be great. So we have to let them know that it's possible. We have to let them know that they too can be where I'm standing here right now.
I'm hoping that one day the Haitian kid would have access to what any other kids in the developed country have access to.
For me, I will always have a relationship with this country. I understand many will never travel to Haiti, but the next time you see so much unpleasantness that has come to define this country, please know it is a nation inhabited by some of the most proud, gracious, and kind human beings. People who have touched my heart. I hope they have touched yours.
People used to say, a lot of people said that there is no way to have change in Haiti. And I say, yes, we can have change in Haiti. I go to a university in Haiti, I create my company in Haiti, I create my foundation in Haiti. So everything that I got now, it's in Haiti, it's because of Haiti. So that means, yes, we can have some change. Just find the right way, having faith in God, having motivation, and then, keep working hard. Like day by day, little by little, we're gonna see the change. And I really believe that we're gonna see it.
Lem gisi let me se va munta fel kuwe. Yes, je se gren, n'arrive je se gren, ala yon bagay ti belo. La mathématique sa belle, moi remeni, li intéressé moi. Kem koutan li fem kou negle, le male nan marché. Yo va voler moi, yo va prendre l'argent moi. À la mathématique, ça belle, moi, m'intéressé moi.
Merci. Bravo.